The last experience I have being on set with Brad Pitt and like giving him direction, he's looking at me like I'm like a Coen brother.
Handsome, how
oh my God, it took my breath away.
Smells good? Smells good?
Oh, I bet he smells.
I have a bad sense of smell.
Like,
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Like a masculine, like kind of must.
You gotta,
You taste the air.
I'm telling you, first off, when he walks on set, everyone like their posture change. You know what I mean? Everyone has such a sense of purpose.
even the men, right?
Oh, especially the men.
Wow. So they know there's a pecking order.
And this guy couldn't be like nicer and not in like a way.
Better be.
Not in a way where it feels like he's like trying to be nice, so like you say good things about him. It just feels like that's his natural. Genuine, like so down to earth, so cool. Couldn't say enough good things about this man. And
hug him at all? Did you give him a hug?
Oh yeah.
Held him too?
Very in shape as fuck. Like he's in such good shape.
So still.
By the way, tatted up in a way that tatted
wow.
up.
Oh, that's
realize.
Wait, I didn't know this.
And like cool tattoos.
Like what? Like what?
I don't know. Like I don't know what they are.
I saw him in Fight Club, but I was too busy looking at the V.
Yeah, the V's were crazy.
To really take in any tattoos.
Tats.
No.
Get out of here.
So he's just a badass
He's a
fucking
badass
stud.
guy. He's cool. Like he was really like I would say the coolest guy I've ever met.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Look at his arm. Look at his arm.
Oh, there
That's
it
a
is.
cool arm.
Yeah.
That arm is cool as fuck. Look at the veins. He's got a bracelet.
He walks in. You know, there's some people that like own their celebrity. Like they walk in a room, they know all eyes are on them, and they're comfortable with that.
Yeah.
I saw Hugh Jackman do that once. Like he just walked in a room, he started introducing himself, and he knows everybody in the room knows it's fucking Wolverine.
Yeah, it's you.
And there are some people that, you know what I mean? They pretend that they're not famous, and they do that thing where they're like, "Hey, you doing? I'm Hugh." Hey.
But what are you gonna do? I feel like that's like how could you not do that as a famous person? I don't know. I would feel lame like if I was Drake and I like had the attitude of like, you all know who I am. Like,
but does he really need to be like, "Hi, I'm Aubrey" to you?
I think so.
Or what if he's just like, "Dave, my man, how are you, brother? I know you know who I am."
It's different if both of us have like. If we're both famous and we've like been DMing, and you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but like,
yeah.
if I'm just like a guy, like a PA on set, I just think it's disingenuous. Is that the word? To be like, "What's up, man? Like, good to see you." Like, I'd rather like him be like, "What's up?" Like Drake. Like, I don't know why I'm talking from the perspective of Drake.
No, this is good. Embody that.
Aspirational.
You come by
Okay, so he's in the room. So Pitt's in the room.
First off, the way I meet Brad Pitt.
Yeah, how did this come together?
Well, no, I met him on set. I actually just cold emailed him.
What?
Yeah. Really reckless. I wrote the entire.
Hold on.
Let me just finish one thing.
Go.
First, just know that when he actually came on set for the first time, and I actually got to meet him for the first time, which is the first place I ever met him, was when he came on set of Dave. We were shooting a scene where like she was like making a cast mold of my lower body, so I had to meet this man naked, covered in like slop. Like that's how I had to be like, "Hey, like nice to meet you." Anyways, I knew.
That's a power movie.
I basically I heard through the grapevine that, and you never know how true any of this shit is, but I just heard that like he was a fan of my show. Like a friend of mine took a meeting at his production company, and like one of his executives was like, "Oh, you know, Brad loves Dave," and my friend relayed that information to me like 3 years ago, and I stored that piece.
You hear that information, and is your first reaction like, "Of course, the guy's got taste, Brad Pitt," or are you like, "Oh my God, Brad Pitt listens to me"? Honest reaction.
My honest reaction is a combination of course, but also like I don't know how true this information is.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. It's more just I don't know how true through the grapevine information is.
He should feel this way.
If he sees it, I imagine he would feel this way. That's how I feel about it.
Fire. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
But anyway, so we're writing. One thing I really pride myself on with the show is every season we end it in like such a way where I think we make like the best season finales possible.
Yeah.
And unfortunately or fortunately, like we just constantly raise the bar. So like this season, I was like, how are we going to beat what we did and I was like, well, I've had stored this piece of information about Brad Pitt. Like maybe we go after Brad Pitt to the point where like we started writing. We wrote the whole episode
before hitting him up.
Before even talking to him. All my writer's room was
That's
like
crazy.
They were like, "That's crazy. Like you don't even know Brad Pitt." And I was like, "I know, but like I just feel like if we come with the right idea, he'll why wouldn't he do it? I don't know." Everyone was like, "All right." Same thing with Rachel McAdams. Same thing with Drake. Like at least Drake I met and he was like, "I love your show," and I had face-to-face confirmation that it was real. Yeah. With Rachel and Brad, I just heard through the grapevine and I wrote them like, and this is not like a random celebrity cameo where like you see them in a club and they're like, "What's up, Dave?" And like it's really like the entire plot arc of the whole season was like resting on Rachel McAdams, Brad Pitt, and Drake.
Okay.
And I didn't know really any of them that well. I barely knew Drake, did not know Rachel or Brad. Wrote the whole episode, got Brad's email.
From
From an executive producer of the show named Marty Bowen, who knows Brad's manager.
Okay.
Got his email, and I just got to work on
What's
drafting
your
that
email?
email. What's my email? Like the words of it? I couldn't even. I mean, it's long.
No. You're like, what is it? What is he seeing in his?
Is your
inbox?
name in your email?
Is it
address?
Lil Dicky?
No, my email. I don't want to give it out. So I'll tell you afterwards.
Oh, can we bleep it?
I guess.
Yeah, just go.
No fucking way, dude.
Yo, what's really funny is he went like this. Like just
I
give
watch
us
the
a
NFL.
fucking
I watch the NFL. I know that they
That's
can
your
do
play
that.
sheet. That's your play sheet.
Okay, so that's the email that Brad sees.
And
And he fucking opens it.
he opens it, and I write this long ass, like well written, like email about.
You gotta have it. Give it, bust it up. Just give us some.
My phone's in the other room.
Get.
I honestly,
gonna
it's
get
not that easy to access. Like I've tried. It's like my phone like does a thing where it only saves like 3 months worth of shit. Like I could probably get it, but it would take too long. And I really don't. I want to leave it between me and Brad. I don't. You know what I mean?
It's Brad. It's Brad.
Yeah, you can't, dog. You can't violate Brad's trust.
I mean, I didn't say we gotta hear the response.
It's not
but
for you, bro. It's not. It's
Yeah,
okay, bro.
Your opening line is everything in the email, right? Do you remember the opening line?
Yeah, to whom it may, or like, dear Brad.
It's definitely Dear Brad, because I know that his response was Dearest Dave.
I love that.
And basically, I wrote this long thing that I like edited all week, like sent to my writers, like was like, what do you think of this draft? They were like, well, maybe like we take this sentence out. That like we literally like worked on this
Punched
email.
up an email.
Instead of writing the
You have to, dude. You have to. It's the most
By the
important
way,
email you've ever written.
we're like shooting episode 8. Like we're like deep in like this episode shoots in like 10 in like 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Like we're like running out of time, and I'm like pushing it off because I'm just like scared to face the reality of like you know the high risk like procedure I've taken. And then like a few days later he responded, not in the same thread. It started a new thread.
Wow.
And
That's big.
I like didn't. It was it's hard to explain, but like I actually didn't understand that it was his email in response back for like 12 hours. I read this email. I kind of thought it was like junk or something. Like it didn't, because he didn't. It was really vague.
I assume his email is not his name. It's not brad@bradpitt.com. So yeah, I can see how you're just like.
It was hard to explain, but his email was like really short and sweet and like not bizarre in a bad way. Like it was like iconic. It was like it was weird, but like he didn't like sign it Brad Pitt. He had signed it BP, and I just wasn't thinking.
So when does it hit you?
It hit me like,
You know who it
I
is.
saw an email in the morning, but I'm like in the middle of production. I'm doing all the things, like you know, I'm so spread thin, and then like I reread it at like lunch, and I was like BP, and then I was like, wait a minute, because I remember the subject line.
It's so hard.
The subject line.
Wait a minute.
I don't even want to show the subject.
Yes, say that shit, my boy. Go.
It was HMMMM.
Okay.
Very cryptic.
Yeah, it was
that threw me
also
off.
cryptic, but it's cool. It was
So
really
cool.
sick. Like
Wait.
when I reread it, knowing it's Brad, I'm like, that's so cool. Like it's the coolest email I've ever. I'm gonna frame it. I'm gonna frame the email and put it on. Anyways, and then even then, I still didn't believe it was real. So I'm like, I'm hitting my agents like, is this his email? They're like, we're confirming it is his email. Like they're like, I think he's down. And then like on set, it was like such a joy to be like, guys, like Brad Pitt is in the finale.
That's unbelievable.
But even then, I still didn't believe it would really happen.
Yeah. Because dates
So
got to line up and shit.
Dates got to line up. It's like at any point.
Did you have to move everything around to fit his window, or?
We shifted a few things,
Okay.
yeah. But man, by the way, this guy couldn't be more professional. Like I designed the shoot in a way to where like if he like it was long, demanding days. Like we shot. It was like an hour-long episode that we only had Brad for like. He gave us 4 full days, and like
Crazy.
we're talking like
Wow.
We're talking like overnight. Like we're starting shooting at like 9 p.m. and going to like 6 a.m.
What would that be fee-wise, Dove? 4 days with Brad Pitt.
He can name whatever price he wants. He's doing it because he wants to.
Oh no, of course he's doing the
not
show
like
because
that.
it's
We're
passion,
talking
but, like,
millions?
Like an
That's
A-star,
millions,
A-level
right?
star.
This doesn't happen.
Yeah.
An episode of TV is
Yeah.
like.
It's not even
Friends
about
or something like that?
Friends, yeah, it was just 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
That was a
so-
great episode.
I gotta say, the most validating moment of my life. Like,
Has to be.
Prior to that, it was when LeBron James reached out to me and DM'd me about being a fan of the show. But like working with Brad, and it's a shame that I live my life like just trying to impress LeBron James and Brad Pitt, and that's how I find the peace and satisfaction.
It's not that most of us do.
Yeah.
Most of us do. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but like him coming, and then when he finally showed up on set, and I was like, "This is real." And like I said, like shooting scenes, like you shoot his coverage, my coverage. We always started with his coverage, and I got the body double with the exact body type.
He stayed in,
and I'm like, Brad, like if you want to go home and rest up, like we can use this other man's shoulder very easily. He was like, never in a million years would I do that. He was like, that's not how it should be.
So real quick, just for everybody at home, explain like when you're shooting a show.
When you're shooting a show, yeah. So let's say I'm here and Brad is like here.
Me and you. Yeah.
So if
the camera's on, Dave.
Yeah, sometimes you can do things called cross coverage, which is there's a camera here and a camera here at the same time. That's really good for like improv and stuff, but it's not as good aesthetically. You can't like light things as particularly to do it that way. So you're better off aesthetically shooting one side at a time. So I would always start shooting Brad's side. Of
course.
So that way
he could leave after his
because we got a body double because when we're shooting over Brad onto me, all we need is his like flannel shirt and shoulder, and we had a man for that.
Yeah.
But he was like, no, sir. Like he was like,
that is fire.
He wanted me to feel
I would never
Brad's
have that
energy
kind of
when
integrity.
I'm giving my performance.
Yeah.
And honestly, it is true. Like that is the right thing to do. And
But those
it's an
nerves are going to be
extra-
coursing through your veins. You're
The whole-
talking to fucking Brad Pitt.
And that's the vibe of like the reality of the scenes we're shooting is that like I am enamored with Brad Pitt, so it will be easier for me to feel
fire.
enamored.
But it's an extra, like, it's not 30 minutes. It's like 8 hours or whatever extra that he's standing there doing that, I assume, right?
Yeah, it's like four hours.
Yeah.
And it's like in the dead of the middle of the night.
He could easily have
And he's got to come back the next day, and like and he, man, talk about a trooper. Didn't complain once. Like was just a joy, like a true joy.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I think it's smart for the super A-list guys also to do cultural shows. Meaning like when I say a cultural show, I mean like it has the culture. People are talking about it because it makes them look cool too. Right? Like how likable is Brad Pitt that he's a fan of the same show that you are a fan of.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Right? And then he's part of it and you know he doesn't need the money. He's just doing it to be a cool guy.
That much money, like I think that like TV's pay.
You've got to like legally give him something.
Yeah, there's
probably.
like it's not even like it's pretty surprising how low TV pay can be for even big time actors. He didn't do it for the money. He did it because he loves the show, and I'm so proud of that episode and forever grateful to Brad for changing my life.
Now, if you don't get Brad, did you have a backup guy you could reach out to?
I definitely had, but it wouldn't have been the same. And
Who was it?
there was no real backup to Brad, to be honest with you. Like I had people in my mind, but like it just didn't feel.
Yeah, there's somebody. Just tell him it's Ben Affleck.
No, it wasn't. I love Ben. I tried to get Ben Affleck in the Met Gala episode, and he like the schedule. He was almost in.
Really?
Yeah, he was. I had a great thing for Ben Affleck in that.
And remember, if you sign up, use that promo code Schulz. They will match your initial deposit up to $100. That means you put in $100, you get $100 for free. Go to prizepicks.com, hurry up and sign up. You got a free square. Now let's get back to this episode with little Dicky.
Were there any lines that you wrote or even scenes from the show that you're like, yo, this can't go in. This is too crazy. Like this bar
Well,
is
first
like
off, I look
too
back at that line. It's like, what the hell was I thinking saying that?
yeah, but
Crazy thing to say.
It's wild.
Have like the Obamas reached out at
No,
all?
but I
The
regret
kids?
saying that because first off, I do believe that like when you're rapping, like the rap that I grew up on was like Eminem, who was saying like the wildest
Hyperbole.
shit. Yeah, like
Yes.
hyperbole. There's nothing literal happening. Like,
Yeah.
and it was really just an ode to respect of like how great I think she is. You know,
What was the whole line? What was the whole line?
I said.
It's a bar.
What did I say?
Dove is Googling it, don't worry.
I said, like,
Emmys right now.
I said, like, I forget the first part. It was like, in a year, I'm a bend over Michelle Obama. Like, I got to do it while I'm hot. I'm trying to get blue in most states like Barack. Which, that's a good line.
That's a good line.
And look, I honestly...
I just wanted you to rap on the show.
At the beginning of my career, unfortunately, I was kind of like at a desperate, like pathetic place of like, I gotta say some wild shit to like go viral, to like get noticed, to like have the opportunities I want, which
I
is...
don't think that's desperate or pathetic.
I don't know. I look at it as a little low-hanging fruit.
But I think at that point in your life, you're just trying to get attention, and you see the people you look up to. You're looking up to, I imagine, Eminem. You're looking up to all these other rappers. They're also doing it. So you're like, this is the genre.
I meant nothing by it. All I can tell you is like I love the Obamas. And
Well,
like
we know
I have
from
the
the
biggest,
line.
I have the biggest fear. I have the biggest fear of like meeting them one day or like working with them and them being like, what about that thing
Have
you
you
said?
met anybody that you
No.
had a bar about?
No.
Not one person that you've rapped about, you've crossed paths with.
Well, no. I would. By the way, I haven't rapped negatively. Like even that.
No,
line
not
is a
negative.
positive line.
Even saying that you are lusting over a woman and then you
I
meet
think
them.
I've been like talking about how much I love Drake for a decade before I actually met Drake.
And then so what happens?
Well, then fortunately, I met Drake, and he knew about the show and loved it. Like I literally was at a bar and like literally I turned around.
He's got good taste and he's plugged in.
Yeah,
Like,
So it was just, he was like, "You're just the man I want to see. Like I love your show so much. I watch it all the time." And I was like I literally was. I was the.
But he didn't go, "Hi, I'm Aubrey."
He didn't need to. You're right. Yeah. I'll tell you, I was the perfect combination of drunk and high. The moment I like kind of had that, I was floating.
It's divine.
Let me tell you, I looked unfazed. I like couldn't have come. I know I was coming off really good. Like you know what I mean. Like I was loose. I was like waiting my whole like adult life for this moment. But like I really was at the perfect like level of intoxicated to like handle it, you know? And I remember, like it was like a 10-minute conversation, exchange numbers. All my friends are at this bar with me. They're like off to the side. Like he walks away, I turn around, I go like, and then like I walk over to my friends and they were like, "What happened?" And I was like, "Honestly, I don't even know. I was like floating." It's great.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Have you flubbed a celebrity interaction? Like someone that you met that you were so excited to meet that you were just like, oof, not my best.
Probably. Oh man. Oh.
Yeah. Give us that one. Whatever made you go,
We can bleep it. We can bleep the name, but tell the story.
Let me think about it for a second.
He's running the numbers, bro. You can see it.
Yeah.
Okay. Basically, DJ Khaled,
Okay.
who I was getting in my Freaky Friday music video.
Yeah.
The way that we shot like a few moments at the end where it was like DJ Khaled, Ed Sheeran, Kendall Jenner. Like I was in Chris Brown's body, then I switched into like these other bodies for like 10 seconds. So like we really were like loose in like how whatever their thing was gonna be, like what they said. And like so I was on my way to DJ Khaled. He agreed to be in the video to shoot and record his line. That was to be determined. So I was gonna pitch him on a number of things. I'm on the way to his house and I'm texting my director of the video. I'm being like, "Look, my dream version of what I would want him to do is be completely naked and be like, I'm DJ Khaled, like, and like make some sort of dick joke about like whatever we think like his dick is like." And as soon as I sent the text I realized I didn't send it to the director, I sent it to DJ Khaled.
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
Like as I'm on the way to, and I've never even met him. So I'm meeting him right now and like no response. I pull up to his house, like I'm like, "Oh my God, like fuck, like." I ring the doorbell.
If he answers the door naked, he's a legend.
And then at that point, so he answers the door, and it's totally normal. I'm thinking maybe he didn't even read the text, and or he did and doesn't. I don't know, but he's acting very normal. And at that point, I was like, because of that botched interaction, I bailed on the idea of even pitching anything envelope pushing to DJ Khaled.
Yeah.
I was like, let's play it safe and pitch him. I'm DJ Khaled. Why am I yelling? Which is like, he always, when he gets in the song, he's like, DJ Khaled. So I was like, let's just pitch him something like that. We get up to the studio. He's like, "So what do you have in mind?" And I'm like, "What I'd love for you to do is be like, I'm DJ Khaled. Why am I yelling?" And he was like, "What else you got?" And then I like thought he would just have accepted that pitch. And the only other pitches I had were like dick, like nude dick joke, like related type shit. And he was like, "What else you got?" And I was like, well, I was like, we could like make a dick joke. And he went, "A dick joke?" Like it felt as though he had never heard the term a dick joke.
Keep going.
And I was like, yeah, like, I'm Lil Dicky, like I make jokes about like my dick being small all the time. He was like, let's just do the first thing.